Have you ever reached a point where everything you try fails? Where every door you knock on stays shut? Where your efforts, your sleepless nights, your tears, your sacrifices all feel wasted? It's that suffocating moment when life seems unfair. You wonder, why me? Why is nothing working for me? Why does Allah remain silent while I cry in frustration? If you've ever felt this, you are not alone. Many before you have walked this painful road. But hidden in that silence, hidden in those failures, is a powerful message from Allah. Because sometimes when nothing in life works, it's actually working in ways you cannot yet see. Today, let's uncover what Allah really wants from you when life stops making sense. Imagine this: you spend months applying for jobs. Rejections pile up. Friends move ahead in life. You feel left behind. Or maybe you love someone deeply, but no matter how hard you try, it doesn't work out. Your heart shatters. Or maybe your dreams fall apart one by one. These are not accidents. They are divine tests. Allah says in the Quran, "And we will surely test you with something of fear, hunger, loss of wealth, lives and fruits, but give good tidings to the patient." Surah Al-Baqarah 2:155. Notice the word surely. Allah promises tests, not because He hates you, but because He wants to purify you. Every closed door is not a punishment, it's protection. Protection from something you can't yet see. But in the middle of that storm it feels unbearable. So what does Allah want? When nothing works, Allah is teaching you sabr. Not passive patience. Not just waiting it out. But active sabr. The kind that strengthens your soul. Think of Yusuf as. Betrayed by his brothers. Sold as a slave. Thrown into prison though innocent. Year after year nothing seemed to work for him. Yet he held on. And what was the result? Allah raised him to the position of a king. Your failures, your struggles, your silent years are preparing you to. Pause, think about this. If life was always easy, would you ever grow? Would you ever turn to Allah with desperation in your heart? Sabr is not weakness. It's power. The power to trust Allah even when you don't understand His plan. There are moments when you fall into sujud and whisper, "Ya Allah, I can't anymore." Tears roll down and silence fills the room. You think Allah doesn't hear you, but He does. The Prophet said, "The supplication of the oppressed is answered even if he is a sinner and even if he commits sins. His sins are against himself." Ahmad, your du'as are never wasted. Not a single tear. Not a single whispered, "Ya Allah." Sometimes Allah answers immediately. Sometimes later. Sometimes He saves it for the Akhirah, where the reward is beyond imagination. So when nothing works, Allah wants your du'as. He wants you to raise your hands, admit your weakness and seek His strength. Because du'a is not just asking, it's surrender. It's saying, "I cannot but you can." Another lesson Allah teaches when life feels stuck is tawakkul. Trusting Him fully. We plan. We dream. We chase. But often we cling so tightly to our own ideas of success that we leave no room for Allah's wisdom. Sometimes He blocks your path because He wants to redirect you. The Prophet said, "Whoever relies upon Allah, He will suffice him." Surah At-Talaq 65:3. Think about that. Allah will suffice you. Maybe the job didn't work because it would have destroyed your faith. Maybe the relationship failed because it would have broken your soul. Maybe the delay is saving you from regret. Tawakkul means believing Allah's no is kinder than your yes. It's letting go of control and resting in His mercy. When life doesn't work, something else is happening within you. Growth. Every heartbreak teaches resilience. Every failure polishes humility. Every loss draws you closer to Allah. Think of a seed buried in darkness. It looks dead. But underground it's breaking, sprouting, preparing to rise. That's you. Your struggles are the soil. Your tears are the water. And your faith is the sunlight. The Prophet said, "The greater the trial, the greater the reward." And when Allah loves a people, He tests them. Tirmidhi. So when life collapses, ask yourself, is this breaking me or building me? He is both. Because Allah breaks you only to rebuild you stronger. So what does Allah want when nothing works in life? He wants you to stop relying on the world and rely on Him. He wants your heart back. He wants your du'a at far, your tears in sujud, your trust when you don't see the way forward. Allah wants your faith. A faith that doesn't shake when life does. Sometimes the silence of Allah is not rejection, it's a call. A call to come closer. A call to remember that this dunya was never meant to be easy. Because in the end, this life was never the destination. It's only the journey. So if today you feel stuck, if nothing is working, breathe. You are not forgotten. Allah is watching. Allah is closer than your jugular vein. And He is guiding you even through closed doors and silent nights. Remember, when life says no, it's often Allah saying, wait, I have something better. So hold on to Sabr. Raise your hands in dua. Place your trust in Him. And keep walking even when the path is dark. Because the same Allah who split the sea for Musa us, who saved Yunus us, from the belly of the whale, who raised Yusuf us, from prison to power, is the same Allah who will bring you out of your pain. And when He does, you'll realize, every tear, every delay, every failure, was never a failure at all. It was Allah's love. Pause. Let that sink in.